There's other things going on behind the scenes that we have to talk about. And I was intrigued to see this line earlier from Bilbao saying that the chances of them hosting games in Euro 2020 seem to be disappearing. Brian, what's happening? I mean, there seems to be these issues with host cities, and we're getting ever closer to the tournament itself.
Well, there was due to be a decision on Monday over who would be hosting the European Championships this summer. It's meant to be 12 host cities. 9 had declared up until Monday, without Bilbao, without Munich and without Dublin. What developments we've had this afternoon is that Bilbao have come out and publicly stated that they will be out. They are out of the competition as a host city. Not the biggest surprise, because their government hadn't given any assurance over a minimum number of supporters that were due to be in the competition. UEFA asked for a minimum of a quarter. We have yet to receive official confirmation from UEFA on this. There is an executive committee meeting tomorrow morning to finalise their proposals. Of course, now big questions continue to be asked over Dublin's suitability. The Irish government have also been unable to fulfil their obligations by saying a minimum 25%. UEFA gave everyone a little bit more time. It wouldn't be the biggest surprise if Dublin said that they can't host games either. The inevitable question is going to come, where will those games go next? I'd be astonished if Wembley Stadium doesn't pick up at least 1 or 2 games off the back of any withdrawals, given the infrastructure that's in place, given the fact that Wembley is also staging the semi-finals and the final. We've not had confirmation from that, and the Football Association are not pushing it. But interestingly, from the Bilbao authorities, they also raised the potential of Cardiff and Stockholm potentially picking up some games. And I know, Paul, you've got more on that.
Yeah, and I think there may be some problems here as well, because the FAW believe that they are out of the running to pick up games. They haven't had a chance to have any test events, so that would pose issues straight away for Cardiff. Stockholm, we haven't heard from them yet, but I know the Bilbao authorities, they've been quite critical of UEFA. They say they haven't been given a convincing explanation, and they won't allow Bilbao or the Basque institutions to be taken for a ride. So clearly some problems here for UEFA with this before tomorrow's announcement. And with Dublin, we know the Irish government, they have some problems as well, because they said it might be just too soon to meet that 25% capacity. So again, more games are going to be up for grabs. You would think 4 from Bilbao and 4 from Dublin as well.
But in any other week, Pete, all we'd be talking about would be the European Championships instead of what we've seen in the Super League. So ordinarily, this is a significant story that UEFA's big plan, the grand master plan of 12 host cities, has slightly fallen down. No big surprise because of the coronavirus pandemic, but there will now be questions asked of the Executive Committee tomorrow about when they do finally formally concede how many host cities there will be. We're looking at it now, you'd have to say that probably 10 is the magic number, because all the indications previously Germany shouldn't be worried. But let's see, if they've still not given the government assurance, then UEFA cannot sign off on this.
So here we are, end of April, heading into May. Euros is coming in June, and there's still huge decisions to be made as to where the games are actually going to be played.
Yeah, so we know minimum 9, and what we know from UEFA is, on the record, there was never going to be a single host. That was spoken about quite a bit in the last couple of months. They still believe in this pan-European model. They still believe in this model of tournament of travel, but even they admit supporters are going to struggle to travel for this one.
Well, when that decision was made, coronavirus pandemic wasn't even a thought on anyone's mind. I mean, it's obviously the world landscape has changed significantly, and I guess they're going to have to just deal with that as best they can.